Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Danny with Down in the Valley Sports. And if you rock with UTRGV, then you find yourself in the right place. We have a really special guest for you today. It's the mayor of not only the one time, the two time, the three time, but the four-time All American city of Edinburg, Mayor Omar Ochoa. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Thanks. Great, man. We'll call that the double V All-American
Oh, I
City, right?
like that.
I
I
like
love
that.
that.
Two V's up.
I love it.
For the Vaqueros. And like I was telling you a second ago, it's a funny coincidence. I have an old copy of the Edinburgh Daily Review, and
Look at
on there
that.
it has the mayoral candidates, and my guy Omar Ochoa there. This is back in September with the full back page spread. Look at that. How's it
I
been
Oh,
going?
actually have that one too. I found it yesterday, Mr. Ochoa. I was cleaning
cool.
out my office and I have that's weird that you brought that up, Danny. You didn't tell me that you were gonna do that, but I have it ready to file and I was gonna frame that. And I
There
didn't
you
even
go.
Blast
think about that. I didn't look at the back.
There you
blast
go.
from the past. So much has happened since then, right? So the election was in November. So what I've been in office like 2.5 months now. Literally, so much has happened since then that feels so old. It's so far removed. Blast from the past for me.
Yeah, yeah. So how about we hop right into it? The
Good.
topic of conversation today is UTRG football. And so this is a football program that's been on a long journey to get started. So
Yes.
how important was it for the city of Edinburgh to be a part of that? And is there anything you can share about how the city was involved?
Yeah, massive. It is so massive to have Edinburgh be the home of Vaquero football. And a lot of people might think that, oh yeah, of course, the campus is in Edinburgh. It just makes sense, right? But it was not a foregone conclusion by any means. This
Yeah.
was a long process to ensure that the team would stay and play in the city of Edinburgh because, as you can imagine, there were plenty of suitors. Other cities who were offering to build stadiums, who were offering all kinds of incentives, right, to bring the team over and to play over there. But we're just so happy, so blessed, so thankful that it all worked out the way everybody assumed that it would have.
Yeah.
And Vaquero football is right here in the city of Edinburgh.
That's awesome. So, you're a big Texas Longhorn fan as you went there and graduated from there,
Man,
but you skipped the Texas Longhorn football season, and opted for UTRGV football. Big sacrifice. So, what was your favorite part of game day? Was it the tailgating? Was it the energy from the fans? Was it the football game itself? What did you enjoy most about attending UTRGV football games?
dude, by far it was the food. I mean,
Yes.
honestly, it is the best food. So you're right. I'm a big UT guy. My
Mhm.
dad went to school there. My brother went there. I went there. My sister went there. I've been going to Longhorn games since I was a little kid. I have consistently gone to at least one game in person, right? To a game every
Mhm.
year since I was in junior high. So last
Wow.
year was the first year I didn't make it to a single Longhorn game the entire season. But I was out there for every Vaquero home football game. We were
Nice.
tailgating. We had our own spot out there. We had this nice big tent. It kind of like evolved over time, and I think by the end of it, we like perfected it. So we're looking forward to reiterating it again. But man, the food, the camaraderie is second to none. It feels like a real college football tailgate atmosphere. It's sprawled all across all that green grass area in front of the parking lot. It extends all the way to the side with some like corporate tents and all those kinds of things. But it was just so cool. You could literally walk tent to tent to tent, and everybody is like throwing food at you because they're so proud of it. It was a really cool experience, and like I said, I've gone to plenty of tailgates at UT, and this one is literally second to none. UT RGV Vaqueros know how to tailgate.
That's
I
right.
got a follow-up question with that because as you can tell, I'm a foodie, as you can tell. Right? So what's your favorite tailgate dish? And are you a cook? Is my question.
Oh yes, so I am a cook, but nowhere near on the level of the people out there, right? We got some real grill masters out there. Anybody that kind of knows like the Edinburgh, all that kind of thing, like Bufa, right, would
Right.
do our stuff, right? He'd be out there cooking up fajitas, ribs, burgers. sausage, right? All kinds of stuff. And then we went the extra mile, bro. We had spiro papas out
I
there.
saw that.
Oh,
We had an,
yes.
we had elote.
Mhm.
We had a paleta, like the actual paleta man. He would come with his cart,
Yeah.
park at our tent. So we took it real serious out there. Um, I would say my favorite tailgate food. I mean, no BS, whatever, is fajita tacos, right? Because it's just so
Absolutely.
unique,
Yeah, yeah.
to South Texas. This is not Central Texas barbecue. This is
Mhm.
not hot dogs and
Burgers.
um, burgers on the East Coast. No, man, this is South Texas barbecue, fajitas, right? Spiro papa, down and dirty.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's that to me that's the best thing about it. Just going around and people, like you said, I would just be walking around and I would get a lot more drinks than I thought I was gonna get, and
Mhm.
then I would get handed food, and I'm one of those guys that doesn't really eat when he's drinking. I'm that
Uh-huh.
guy. There's always that guy, right? I don't
That's
eat
right.
until 11 o'clock at night when my wife puts aside a plate and then I have to eat it at the end of the night. So that's one thing that was pretty cool. I guess another follow-up question to that with the city is there any plans in the off season that you guys are planning to do with maybe the tailgate that's going to escalate or elevate anymore?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I will say, UTRGV, they own the stadium,
Okay.
and they own the surrounding fields around it, right? So it's not the city
Mm.
that owns the property. It's
Mm.
not like the Bird Ogden Arena that the city
Mhm.
owns and then leases it to the Vipers
Mhm.
to do their thing. UTRGV owns that stadium and the surrounding fields. There's even a field behind it where they started parking cars for their overflow. They
Mhm.
bought that field. UTRGV did specifically so they could have more parking. So the
Wow.
the city can't necessarily do its own changes, but our officers were out there. We had fire
Mhm.
out there. We had our public works department out there. So we had plenty of notes to share with UTRGV when the season was done. And I think UTRGV's got some changes in store for the better. It was an excellent experience right from the get go. But just like every year, you can always make it better. So I think from that perspective, it really is up to UTRGV to make those changes. But the city did give them some good notes.
Thanks for clarifying that. I think that's really big for the fans to get clarification because somebody like me that follows it on a minutely basis didn't
Yeah,
really absorb that. So back to you,
yeah.
Danny.
Yeah, and back to the tailgating experience, I had to pace myself, man. I stopped by I stopped by your tailgate, Mayor Ochoa, and I only got an elote because I knew that I was gonna get like some fajita tacos or some ribs, some adult beverages afterwards. And then in the stadium, I was gonna try and get some
Yep.
chicken wings. Shout out to Wing Barn
Wing
who's in
Barn,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I had to pace myself. I said, I'm good with just some elote, extra spicy. Please and thank you. I'll be on my way.
You're definitely right. I took the same approach, to tell you the truth. You got to pace yourself to be able to try a little bit of everything along the way. And you're right. The food inside the stadium is awesome.
Mhm.
It's not just chips or a hot dog or whatever. They've got like
Right.
real vendors in there with real food. I think, it's embarrassing that, some of them knew me on a first name basis and then and they knew my order as soon as I walked up, right? But I think
Yeah.
that says a lot about the quality and me wanting to return every game.
Hey, they got to come out with like a mayor special or something like that.
There it is.
A featured menu item for
Fried
Mayor.
Oh,
Oreos. I love the fried Oreos. Maybe the fried Oreo
hey,
Choa right there.
there you go. I love it. Well, so funny enough, I had partnered up with a Loredo's Tortilleria in Edinburg.
Yes,
Really,
Mhm.
really great spot. And we came up with a breakfast taco called the barbachoa.
I remember that. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. So it was like a barbachoa mexicana taco, right? With the salsa
Mhm.
on the inside, all that kind of stuff. And they named it the barbachoa. So maybe we should incorporate that at UTRGV games.
There it is.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I told Roy here about Loredo's because he's out of Brownsville. I told him
Mhm.
if you want the best breakfast taco, not only in Edinburgh, but in the entire Rio Grande Valley, that's not a shot at anybody else. I'm just speaking facts and truth. You have to go to Loredo's.
It's true. They know what they're doing over there. So check it out and ask them for the barbachoa, right? And tell them I
Mhm.
sent you.
I
Yeah.
will. I will. I live in Rancho Viejo, but I always say the Stripes and Omito is the best in the valley. So I need to,
Oh,
you never know. Laredo's a little different, but
Mhm.
that's a
yeah.
pretty cool idea.
You can explore. But more about the football game, I'm interested in learning more about this, this partnership between, the city of Edinburg and UTRGV and the benefit to the city. So, some people just see a football game on Saturdays, but what's the real impact on Edinburg when UTRGV plays football at home? How's it impacting
Yeah.
the city?
It is huge. The UTRGV did a study about the economic impact on this, and it's literally millions of dollars every game
Mhm.
that comes into the city of Edinburg. Everything from people who come in, because people come from all over the valley. It's crazy. You go
Mhm.
out there and there's tailgaters from Mercedes, from Brownsville, from Mission, from La Jolla. It is not just an Edinburg thing or even like an Upper Valley thing.
Mhm.
It's really is the RGV proud.
Mhm.
But all those people, they buy meat, they buy drinks, right? They buy
Yeah.
gas
Mhm.
here in the city of Edinburg. So it is like a millions of dollars impact just from
Wow.
that. And it's not even just the impact of what happens on game day. It is what's happening to the east side of Edinburg, right, as a result of it.
Mm.
So if you
Yeah.
look on that Raul Longoria corridor, that's the name of the street right where this is happening.
Yeah.
Now there's like this huge plaza that's getting built up. It's going to be about
Yeah.
80 commercial spots along with multifamily housing. Los Lagos, right, is developing another subdivision in there. That's the golf course that's right next to the stadium. You're seeing more plazas coming up to the north side of the stadium. So a Sonic, right, opened up like a month
Yeah.
before the game started, right?
Mhm.
So there's a lot happening just on that side of town. Again, as a result, I think of a lot of the attention that's being driven from the football stadium being out there. So it's a really big economic win for the city.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up playing golf at Los Lagos and Monte Cristo, and the east side of town really had nothing. And I want to say your
Mm,
sister played on the golf team as well. Your younger sister, I think I played with her, but we used to go to Monte Cristo, and there really wasn't anything out there
mm,
towards Raul Longoria and Doolittle, and you see it now, and I don't recognize it. It's just
yeah,
grown tremendously, and a lot of that has to be attributed to the growth of UTRGV, right? So
it's true.
and partnering with the city. So
Yeah, it's
that
it's crazy, man. It's just like, these things happen and they snowball over time, and then it's like a flywheel and it starts spinning and spinning. I mean, think about this, okay? 20 years ago, it was an orange grove. There was nothing out there,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Or oranges, whatever. It turns into Super Splash. You remember that?
I do. Yeah, that was
I know.
It
amazing.
was
Yes, he told me about that.
so it was
Yeah,
a water park, right? Where the stadium is right now was a water park for
that's
a while.
crazy.
Now, the water park didn't make it, unfortunately. It was great. I loved it.
Blast.
But, the water park then transitioned into a soccer stadium, and then the
Yeah.
soccer stadium transitioned into now this gorgeous football stadium that's even being expanded, right? UTRGV is still adding to it. So, all of this development along the way, we have a lot to be thankful for our leaders of the past who kind of had a lot of vision to start, putting these things in motion so that we can have these things today.
I got a question on the development and kind of the area, right? Because in banking, we look at commercial financing, we look at different ways money's being used in a certain area. Given all the increased income and all the different things that are happening, what do you foresee Edinburgh doing with that in the future? Is it going to be more urban? Or are you guys looking to do more developments? What type of development do you foresee happening in that area, and what impact is it going to have?
Yeah, that's a great question. So there already is a lot of subdivisions in the pipeline. I think when you look at the
Nice.
stats, Edinburgh has like 100 subdivisions at some point in development phase, like right now. It's insane. And so I think you're going to continue to see a lot of that huge growth. Multifamily is coming up in certain areas, right? But you've got still a lot of residential going on. Now on the east side, I think there's a lot of potential for growth, to tell you the truth, right?
Yeah.
So you saw a lot happen on the south side of Edinburgh, north side of McAllen. A lot
Mhm.
of it like grew into each other, and you can really see like the Trenton corridor, Alberta, Wisconsin, everywhere between the expressway, all the way over to 10th Street. I mean, just so much growth because the cities literally grew into each other. I think you're going to
Mm.
start to see that on the east side, right? Where East Edinburg is going to grow into Alamo, right? It's going to grow into San Juan, and
Mm.
you're going to see a lot of that development over there on that east side also, because there's a lot of infrastructure that's being expanded out there. Trenton is
Mm.
being expanded. There's plans to do that. Canton, right on the east side of the expressway, is being expanded. There's just a lot of activity that I think is really going to drive a lot more residential and a lot more commercial development, specifically on the east side of the expressway in Edinburg.
Nice.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So maybe 5 to 10 years from now, like, what do you hope people, not just around Texas, but around the country, would say? What do you hope they say when you hear them mention Edinburg and UTRGV football in the same sentence?
Yeah, I mean, championship football, bro, right? I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
we've got a really great team, undefeated at home, right? I mean, think about
Yeah.
that. Well, we got
Yeah.
to hold on to that for as long as we possibly can. But
Yeah.
the facilities that we have here, this stadium, is incredible, right? And I mean, you just ask the team members. I don't know if you've had them interviewed here, but
Yeah.
they go to other stadiums and it's not even close. Like the facilities don't even compare to what
Mhm.
it is that we have here. We've got a great athletic director. Chase has done amazing things, not just in football, but across the board. And so I really think you're going to see the quality of the team continue to get better every year.
Mhm.
I also have a feeling we're going to be a poaching ground for a lot of
Mhm.
bigger schools to come in and
Yep.
take our players, but that's okay, right? I think Coach Bush does a really good job developing the skills. Like I said, Chase is doing a really good job maintaining and expanding on facilities. So
Mhm.
that's what I want to see 5 to 10 years from now, right? When people think of Edinburg and UTRGV football specifically, they think of a championship caliber team, right? Really good, well-run teams with great facilities
Mhm.
in this great part of South Texas.
Yeah, I mean, we have an all-American city in Edinburgh, and we have all-American players and team in UTRGV football. We had, to your point, we had a few star players move on to the FBS level. Tony Diaz, probably being the highest caliber one that had, a dozen and a half offers. He could have gone anywhere he wanted in the country, and
Yep.
that's okay, right?
Yeah, it is.
We
It's
can
okay.
we can
That's
be
great.
an FCS level champion, producing a lot of talent and watching them play on Sundays at some point.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right? I mean, you're going to have a lot of 3-star players who maybe felt overlooked, right, by some program, who are going to want to come here because of the great facilities, right, of the great tradition that we've
Yeah,
got here. They're going to develop into a really good player and have a shot, right, to transfer out to maybe some bigger program potentially.
yeah.
But I think ultimately we are going to continue to have a really good athletics program because our facilities are really good, but also just as important, our fans are really into it, man.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
the
Mhm.
baseball games this year were crazy. I mean, people were like ravenous getting
yeah.
out there.
That's
Um,
around the corner.
yeah, and it all just flowed right into that football season.
Mhm.
Right, the momentum that baseball built, I think that had a lot to do with the success of the crowds coming out to the football team, and it's all just gonna kind of feed off of each other.
Yeah, a rising tide lifts all boats. Right now, our men's basketball team is on a 5 game winning streak. They have another matchup at home against Houston Christian. I hope the entire city of Edinburgh, the entire Rio Grande Valley shows up to support them, just as they
Yep,
did for the football team and the baseball team. Yeah, they're in the home stretch here to make a push for maybe the tournament. I don't know. They just hit their highest ranking. Correct me if I'm wrong, Roy.
Yeah,
Uh,
they did.
yeah,
Ken Palm.
yep, their highest Ken Palm ranking. So, uh, Chase and the athletic department really has the program
mhm,
moving in the right direction, and that's up towards championship level. So,
I
I
agree.
couldn't agree with you more.
Yep, I
Roy, did
agree.
you have a follow up question there?
I do. I'm actually going to the basketball game after this interview. I'm gonna head out to Edinburgh. Like I said, I live in Rancho Viejo, so I'm about a 55-minute drive to
Mhm.
be able to do that. So I'm looking forward to it. The question I did have, because we recently saw the stat of the enrollment of UTRGV. I think it was 35,000. I want to say 6,000
Mhm.
people in the master's program or the other doctorate program. Um, as the mayor, obviously you're part of the planning and a lot of things that happen with the city. What do you foresee UTRGV and the city's relationship in the future? And then what projects maybe that we should get excited about for the school that's going to see a lot of growth within that school? Because at one point we're going to have to build up, right?
That's
Because there's only so much space. So if you can get us the fans some insight of what maybe that looks like, and
all
maybe
right.
drop
Let's
a
do
little
this.
dime for us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, it's a lot of really cool stuff. So you're right. The educational caliber of this school is amazing. We've got a ton of people there, a ton of programs, a medical school, right? Graduate facilities, research facilities, a brand new science building that was just had a ribbon cutting a couple of years ago. I mean, like it really is on the rise. This school, and I personally, as mayor, but as a citizen in general, want to see more of a connection between the city of Edinburg and UTRGV in terms of the workforce pipeline. We've got some really smart kids that go to UTRGV, but we need to give them a reason to stay, right? Because
Yeah.
we want that brain gain, not that brain drain. And so
Mm.
to be able to attract industries to come down here to give the jobs to the kids who have worked so hard and deserve the economic benefit of the work that they put into it. And so, being able to develop that workforce that we can then use as a launching point to recruit those industries, very important. I think healthcare is an easy one, right? We've got some really great hospital systems in Edinburg, Driscoll, South Texas Health System, DHR. We've got the medical school. Texas General is a new hospital that's getting built on the west side, right, of Edinburg. So there's a lot of really great things going there. And then around that, this whole like ecosystem of medicine can get built too. Everything from equipment suppliers, biotech, right, all kinds of things. So I think healthcare is a really good growth point for Edinburg and the Rio Grande Valley. Technology is a big one also. UTRGV actually has a really good pipeline of tech students that go to other cities to work for big companies like Cisco, like
Yeah.
Zoho, like Google. Zoho, in fact, that was one of the reasons they decided to anchor here in Edinburg, is that they recruit so many students to go up to their
Uh-huh.
Austin campus. And so I think you're going to see a lot of that tech ability to be able to come down here also. So, I mean, there's a lot of really exciting things. Now, in terms of what's to come, there actually is a really cool project that's on the brink. And it's more or less public knowledge, right? I don't think I'm
Don't
saying
worry
anything.
about that, Mayor. Don't worry about that. Talk to us.
But, there's a big push to increase on-campus lifestyle right here at UTRG. For the longest time, it was a commuter school, people living at home, traveling into school, going back home, right? All those kinds of things. But we
Mhm.
really want to create a campus atmosphere, a true campus atmosphere. And so what you're going to start to see pretty soon is a lot more student housing in and around campus. And with that
Nice.
is going to be more multi-use developments, right? You're going to see a lot more shops, a lot more commercial activity in addition to that student housing that's going to come in and around campus. And it's really exciting. It's actually not that far away.
Nice. I'm excited about that. I have a daughter that just enrolled as a freshman at UTSA. So when you say she's an engineering student. So when you say big companies and things growing, to me, right, having a freshman, I want her to come home, man. I want her to come home. And I think that in 3 more years you have, Mayor, so where we can build this. And there's always opportunity, right? But
Mhm.
I'm looking forward for her when she's done with school to just say, you know what, I don't need to go anywhere else. I want to come back
Excellent.
home to the
And
valley. So I'm excited about that.
that's what we want, man. And that was my story too, right? When I graduated high school, I was gone for about 15 years. Went to UT for undergrad, got my law degree there, clerked for some judges, was a practicing lawyer in Houston for several years. But I always wanted to come home. It was always my dream to come back somehow, some way. Didn't really know exactly when or how. Very scary to make that transition to come back. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie, right?
it is.
But looking back on it, I think to myself, wow, I should have done it sooner.
Mhm.
There is that much opportunity down here. I mean it, right? A good professional providing a good service, people are going to flock to you because people are starving for that high level of professionalism and quality down here.
Yeah, I came back. I was here from sixth to eighth grade, left to ninth grade to California, and that was in 1994. And I just moved back 7 years ago. So I'm
Right.
happy. I'm happy when you say that because I came back for exactly what you're saying. So back to you, Danny.
No, this is awesome. More industry and companies moving to Edinburgh sounds like more NIL deals for
Yeah.
our
Uh-huh.
athletes. So that's what I'm thinking about. I'm
Yeah.
hearing the dollar signs for our athletes to attract them, and then based on the plans that you just mentioned, the campus lifestyle is going to be that much more
Mhm.
attractive to them, and you know. Speaking to the point about facilities, we interviewed a commitment to UTRGV football, and he was previously at an FBS school. I'm not going to not to name names and belittle them, but he said that our facilities at UTRGV were much nicer than the ones he was at a larger university, or what's perceived to be a larger and bigger university. So we've got facilities and coaches and administration and the city and the community that maybe are a little underrated. Where I think we're top notch. We're a lot better than we get credit for.
Totally agree, and I think the product on the field showed that last year.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. Shout out to the coaches and staff for putting together an amazing season.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly, it was great, and in fact, we are honoring them with a proclamation at the city of Edinburgh, right? So
that's
we want them to know how much the city appreciates and values them, right? This is not just some, Saturday thing that we do occasionally. This is our team, damn it, right? Like,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
they belong to the RGV, and we want them to know that, whether they're from here or from not, right? They need to know that we back them up all year long.
that's correct. That's correct. Roy, anything else to share or discuss with Mayor Ochoa?
I don't know. We usually do rapid fire because we've done a couple different interviews. So I have a couple rapid fire ones I do with
Great.
the younger commits. I want to see your answers to this.
Let's
Right.
try.
So
Let's see
rapid
what's
fire. The first one is a little bit more urban hip hop. Right. So are you a Kendrick or a Drake fan?
Kendrick, man, all the way. Come on.
Love
Yeah,
that.
I'm an intellectual, bro. I'm a lawyer,
Yeah,
right? I love
Lyrics.
words. I love poetry. Yeah, I
yeah.
want to be mentally stimulated, and Kendrick all day.
Red or green salsa?
Well, actually, usually green, because green is actually usually the spicier one than the red. They don't make food hot enough for me, man. I love spicy food. So the real answer is whichever one is the spiciest one, but usually the green is the spicier one.
You tailgaters out there, you heard that. So if you see Mayor Ochoa, make sure you
Bring
Spicy.
bring
it.
the spiciest salsa. Okay.
I'm a basketball fan, so I always ask Lakers or anyone else.
Spurs, bro, 100%.
I knew it. I knew
100%.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, I've been a Spurs fan ever since I was, I don't know, 6, 7 years old. It was the very first game I ever saw was watching the San Diego Spurs play at the Alamo Dome way
Yeah.
back when, playing in a football stadium. I don't know whose idea that was, but the Admiral, Sean Elliott, Avery Johnson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dennis Rodman.
Going way
Those were
back.
that was my team, man. I was crying every time they lost to Akeem Olajuwon in the Western Conference Finals. But
Yeah.
I stuck on long enough, right, for Tim Duncan to come in and change the whole thing.
Yeah.
So Spurs
Manu,
all the way.
Parker. Yeah.
And then this one I've seen in other podcasts. I think it would be kind of cool, Danny. And I didn't tell you I was going to ask the mayor this, right? So you technically are our second, I want to say celebrity, right? We had FCS Nation on before you, but obviously you're down the valley. You're a bigger celebrity. What I want to ask is if you can bring somebody to join us on the podcast, who would it be? And the person you say you have to help get him on or her on the podcast.
Oh, okay. That's a harder one.
I,
Yeah.
I copied this from a
I had
different
a
pod, but I love the idea. So
oh
remember,
man.
first, who's
Oh,
it? Who do you think our fans will benefit the most from? And then whoever it is, you have to help us get that person on.
oh, dude, I'm gonna like shoot for the stars on this one, and I
Yes,
know
come on, let's do it. Get the
I'm gonna
Rolodex. Get the
I'm gonna
Rolodex.
hate myself, but like, dude, how cool would it be to get anybody from Grupo Frontera, right, to come and
Oh
on the
my
show?
gosh.
It's like
That'd be
Edinburgh,
insane.
they're puro
Yeah.
Edinburgh, man. It's like
All
how
day,
Yeah.
cool would
baby.
it be to get them on here to talk about UTRGV?
Dude,
I would
that'd be
love that.
I
I'm gonna
have
put that back in you,
I
and
have
I'm gonna
zero
follow
connect,
up on that, Mr.
zero.
Mayor.
that's
Also, I
But
did
that was
out. There was one thing I did on Twitter, which is kind of ironic. You said that is I said for opening day, how awesome would it be for the players to run out to
yeah.
Grupo Frontera playing
Yeah,
live at the
yeah.
VAC?
The
So
I love
hometown
it.
edge.
I'm going to follow up with you on that request of getting them on. And two, if they can go live opening day at the VAC on the field, Mr. Ochoa, you're
Yeah.
done. You don't even have to run for mayor
Wow.
anymore. You're just going to be automatically in for the next 30 years.
Oh my. I'll tell you what, how cool is it that we all have a group that we can name that everybody knows? Here,
Yep.
statewide, nationally, internationally, how cool is it that the RGV can claim credit to Grupo Frontera, right? Thank you. If
Yeah.
you all are watching this, and I hope you are, because this is a really good show. If you guys are watching this, thank you all for what you've done, right? Putting us on the map.
Yeah, I mean, I talk to coworkers across the country that listen to Tejano and that type of style of music, and they recognize Grupo Frontera, and I proudly tell them they're from my hometown. Yeah, and
Exactly.
yeah, Bayo used to work at the local Whataburger before he was a big superstar singer.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's good. What Whataburger, HEB, right? These are classics. These are classic jobs.
Definitely. Well, Mr. Mayor Ochoa, thank you so much for being on our show. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Like we said, fans, if you rock with UTRGV, then you're in the right place. To document your attendance watching this, please like and subscribe. We appreciate all of you, and V's up.
Let's go.